So I have no money, right? I have to think about ways to put myself out there,
Mhm.
but I may not have the means to do that. What did that look like for you in the beginning?
Like you have zero, nothing. That's not true.
Mm-hmm.
You have money for the things you want to have money for, right?
Yes.
And my first step, the first thing I invested any money in was $24.95 on Hey, welcome to my podcast, The Feast. I'm Chef Lisa Brooks, and today we're going to be talking about how to start your personal chef business with $0. And I'm here with Shaquana. My girl Shaquana we're going to be talking about how people start with zero.
Nothing at all.
How do you start from nothing?
Yeah.
Starting from the bottom, now we're here, right?
We're right
That's
here.
what we're talking about today.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to jump right in. Okay.
Yes.
We are here with someone who can answer all of the questions. Okay. She can tell us all the things. So my question to you would be, how did you get in the realm of personal chef? Like, how did you say, all right, this is what I want to do? And how did you start? Where was that starting point for you?
Okay, so for me, I was making a career change. I was 40 years old, well, 39 technically, when I made the decision, leaving corporate America, having just the stress, the uncomfortability in the season where I was, knowing that I had to make a change. That place where you feel like, you know what, I'm suffocating in my current life. Something has to change, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so praying about it and realizing or hearing, you can cook. And I'm like, yeah, I've been cooking since I was 5 years old. Like, but what? What you talking about? How are we doing this? Right. Um, and, uh, and so God said, don't worry about it. Just walk in that direction. It's literally what he said. Just turn and walk in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I can do that. What did that look like?
Mm-hmm.
So I Googled, this is 2009. I Googled food jobs or jobs cooking that don't require working in a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, I'm about to be 40 years old. I'm not starting over from the beginning and working my way up from like $8.50 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I don't want to do that type of work, and I don't want to work 60 hours a week. So I knew I didn't want that. And I didn't know of the concept of a personal chef. I knew the concept of a private chef, which is
Mm-hmm.
someone who works for a family or works for celebrities or what have you. Um, and I didn't really want that because I didn't want another job. So I found food stylist and personal chef as the two things that were like on the table, right?
Okay.
I'm a creative, so I'm like, food styling, I could do that. But then I saw this concept of a personal chef, and at the time, really the only concept was meal prep. You go into someone's home, prepare their meals for the week, and go back and do that again the next week and the next week. And I was like, I can totally do that. Like I can do that. There was the idea. Googling it cost me nothing, right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so okay, well, here we go. I'm gonna start just researching and seeing how people are doing this and looking at other people's like websites. I looked at the time there were these two organizations like the United States Personal Chef Association and the American Personal and Private Chef Association. So I looked at those, looked at their programs, like seeing what people were doing in there. So I'm just doing research. I'm doing my homework.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going out and seeing like how does this work, and then I'm planning my life for this to step into it. Again, trusting God and moving.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just putting one foot in front of the other. And so it starts with the idea
Mm-hmm.
and then the faith to walk in the direction, right? For me, there wasn't a roadmap, there wasn't a mentor, there wasn't a class I could take, none of that. And so I had to figure that part out on my own. And I did end up enrolling in culinary school because I thought I needed to, even though I've been cooking 35 years already at that point.
Yeah.
I thought I needed that to be able um, to show myself worthy to a high-end client because I knew I wanted high-end clients from the beginning. And so, I wanted to have that. And I appreciated culinary school. It turns out just, the culinary school, I went to community college.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't cost very much at all. I did not go to a university that cost me $68,000 a year. and it was an accredited, amazing program. Um, and then, but after the fact, I realized I didn't even really need culinary school, because at the end of that, I still had to figure out how to be an independent chef entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
which wasn't taught to me at all in culinary school. Um, and so just by saying out loud to someone, there's a guy who was showing me an apartment, and I was like, oh, I'm moving here. I'm going to be a personal chef. So me speaking that out loud, say, I'm going to be a personal chef.
Mm-hmm.
I'm building a business as a personal chef. He said, oh, my wife and I are looking for a personal chef.
Wow.
Oh, okay. And I was like, I kind of thought, bro, like, you don't have to try to, gas me up. You don't have to gas me up. I'm probably gonna rent the apartment. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to throw that in there. But no, his wife really called me because I opened my mouth and declared that's what I was. Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I'm moving here because I'm gonna be a personal chef. He
Yes.
said, well, we need a personal chef. So do you know what I did? His wife did call. She said, we want to hire you. I put together a menu for their week, did it, like kind of interviewed them. What is it they like to eat, want to eat, what their goals are. I used my knowledge that was already existed in my head, which I have
Mm-hmm.
access to for free. And then did a menu for them, sent it out. They paid me. So I'm making money already.
Yes.
I've spent nothing at this
Yeah.
point. And all I did was take my pots and pans out of my kitchen, put them in a bag, go to the grocery store, and get the groceries that I needed to go and cook for them. I cooked for them, laid everything out, put it, labeled it, put it in the refrigerator, put in my little ear pods. I was working in the house. I did all that. And I made money. Like, they paid me, I think, probably $350,
Mm-hmm.
and then reimbursed me for the groceries on top of that. So, like, I just made $350 for, it was like 5 hours I spent
Yeah.
between the shopping and cooking in the home. I was like, that's like $70 an hour. Like,
Yeah.
and I had not invested a dime at that point, and I
Mm.
made money from $0.
Yeah.
So now, and then it started to grow. I could go pay $24.95 a Vistaprint for a website. I could,
Mm-hmm.
start building things up from there. But the start was about moving in a direction, having faith, and just putting one foot in front of the other.
Yeah. So you said something, and I can't let this go. Um, for a person who's out there, you said something that is just kind of ringing in my head. You said there was no one out there that looked like what I wanted to do, but I had the faith to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Speak to that person out there that may say, I don't know what that looks like, but I know the passion is deep down inside of me.
Yes.
What did that look like for you? Having the faith.
Having the faith. I was at a point of desperation, if I'm being honest, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was at a point of desperation where something has to change in my life. There's an urgency. Something needs to change right now.
Mm-hmm.
What I am doing is probably going to kill me if I keep doing. I'm going to have a heart attack or a stroke or something. The stress level, my high blood pressure. I'm like the job was making a lot of money. I mean, it was a 6-figure corporate position, but the stress was literally killing me. So I was at a point of desperation. I think a lot of people listening and watching this may feel that, like, oh my gosh, that's how I feel. And at 40, sometimes you feel like, what else could I do after this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would be possible? Like, how do I walk into a second act? And it is the trusting of the fact that, I am not my own provider. God
Yeah.
made that very clear to me.
Yeah.
He said, you aren't your provider. I am your provider. This job was never your provider. Your parents were never your provider. I have always been your provider. Your job is to worry about your purpose and pursue that. I
Mm.
worry about provision. You worry about your purpose. And so, it's in that relationship. It's in that talking to him. It's in that,
Mm-hmm.
it's in that the faith comes, because, people who have no hope, I don't know what they resort to, right?
Yeah.
But I have hope and faith in the fact that I have a safety net under me, and he's my father, God,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And so, um, it was truly an exercising of that faith. There's no other way to put it. There's no other way really to describe it. And people say, oh, have faith, have faith. Like, it's a catchphrase. Like, no, bro. Like, having faith means I don't know how this is going to work, yet I'm going to do all I can and trust that God's got me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
that is what actual faith looks like.
Yep. Yep. I love it. So, what about, let's shift gears a little bit, the marketing strategy. So,
Mm.
I have no money, right? I have to think about ways to put myself out there,
Mhm.
but I may not have the means to do that. What did that look like for you in the beginning?
Okay. The first thing I'm going to talk about is that I have no money.
Okay.
Okay. Because how often is that actually literally true? That you have no money?
Very seldom.
Very seldom is that actually true.
Mm-hmm.
If like you have zero nothing, that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
You have money for the things you want to have money for, right?
Yes.
And so there are ways to do things that you're taking these steps. So again, my first step, the first thing I invested any money in was $24.95 on a Vistaprint website that I built myself. The Vistaprint web hosting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is
That's throwback.
that's throwback for real, right? And went in there like with the template or whatever they had
Mm-hmm.
and built it out myself and published the website. So yeah, it took what like $30.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
$30 and my time
Mm-hmm.
of investing my time to take the tutorial to figure out how to build the website,
Yeah.
like and put in the work
Yeah.
to do that. So now, yeah, but I already had made $350 anyway for my
Yeah.
client. And so, but even if I hadn't done that, $25 for my website, that's the first step of the marketing. Letting people know you exist.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, have you ever wondered what type of personal chef business is actually the best fit for you? Like, should you be doing private dinner parties, meal prepping, or vacation gigs? Look, I got you. I created a free quiz that will tell you exactly which business model makes the most sense for your lifestyle, your strengths, and your goals. And it takes just 2 minutes to complete. At the end, you'll get a personalized roadmap that'll show you how to earn more while working less and the exact steps you need to get started. Don't waste time guessing. Hit the link in the description, take the quiz, and start building the personal chef business that's right for you. Letting people know you exist, because the circle I wanted to be in was not the circle I was in,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we sometimes do is we talk to our friends and we go telling people, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. And you talking to your friends and your family. I can tell you right now, your friends and your family are not going to be the people who give you a 6-figure business. They're not going to be your clients. They likely are not your ideal clients, and that's no slight on them. They're living their own journey, doing their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
People come to people all the time with these ideas of, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And a lot of people are dabbling, they'll never do a thing, right? Show me what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me what you're going to do. Show me what you've done, right?
Yeah.
So when my family found out I had a personal chef business is when they saw my website.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's what, yeah, you were serious. Yeah, huh? You know what I mean? And I've already cooked for, like, I have a client. I cook
Yeah.
for her, like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it's like you're doing that? Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, I am. I'm doing it.
Okay.
Right?
So you had the idea,
Yep.
right? You start putting the let's say you put your words on it.
Yes.
You're getting the apartment. You told the man, I am a personal chef, right? Okay. You get your marketing strategy.
Yep.
Very low budgeted, but out on faith. You're still stretching out on faith, right?
Yes.
Because you're going after your purpose.
Yes.
Okay. Next, something that people who already have established business probably have questions about, but we're talking about from zero. Okay?
Let's give it to them. Let's give it all to them.
How did you structure your pricing? How much is too much? How much is not enough? How much do I price my time? Do I price my schooling, right? The education that I had. So how did you come up with the structure of your pricing starting from scratch?
When I started, I based my hourly rate of pay, I put that in air quotes because, I teach we're not trading time for money, but that's I'm going ahead. We talking about the very beginning, right?
Okay.
So we have to assign a value to what our time is worth, right? And so the only frame of reference I had was I just had a job. I was just making 6 figures, which is about $40 something an hour or something like that, right? And so I said, okay, I am not willing to go back to square one, but so I decided based on where I was that I'm going to charge $35 an hour. I'm going to base my pricing on $35 for an hour of my time.
Okay.
So that was my reasoning. It had no guidance on this, no whatever, but I did at least have uh you know I mean, I thought through it critically.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just a number out of the air. It's like based on what I've been earning and what my lifestyle I need to keep my lifestyle at a certain point. This is what I need and what I want. So I started at the $35 an hour mark. I'm going to build everything off of that, and then it's just honestly math, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, because I started with meal prep, like I said. It's going to take me an hour to shop. It's going to take me probably, 5 hours in their house, actually doing the cooking. So that's 6 hours times the $35. I'm going to take an hour to drive back and like to and from their house. The containers, the labels, the printing, my time of just thinking of menu creation. So I just, okay, this is basically 10 hours
Mm-hmm.
of time, $350.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the groceries are separate, right?
Mm-hmm.
$350 is my professional fee. So that's how I determined that first client's pricing
Mm.
was this is how much my time is worth. And then this is about how much time this is going to take. Now, obviously, I'm 15 years in at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've developed an actual system for pricing now that takes into account not just the trading time for money, but we got to pay the business. We have to
Mm-hmm.
pay yourself as a chef, pay yourself as the owner, build in profit. And so it's more than that now. Now there's me to teach someone exactly how to do it the
Yeah.
right way.
Yeah.
But to begin, that was a fair place to start, which is
Mm-hmm.
this is what I need and want to live. This is what I need to live. Like I'm my first employee. I am my
Yeah.
company's first employee.
Yep.
Right. And so as an employee, I deserve to know what I'm going to be earning
Mm-hmm.
to accept this offer.
Yeah. There you go.
Right.
There you
And
go.
so I'm willing to accept the offer at $35 an hour from Heart and Soul Personal Chef Service. So Heart and Soul Chef Personal Chef has paid me $35 an hour.
Okay.
Right.
And like
It's
you
that
said,
simple.
I was gonna say now when you break it down, it sounds a lot more. It sounds like it's doable. Does that make sense? Because if you're
1,000%.
someone on the outside looking in, you're like, oh my God, where do I start?
Yeah.
But now that you broke it down, it's like, oh, that makes sense. I have the hourly pay, then I have the groceries completely separate, then I have the time that it's gonna take,
Yeah.
and you just combined it.
It's
So
real. I mean, I don't want to say common sense because
because it's
that
not so,
sounds
but it's not so
it's
common.
not common because
Yeah.
but it was just I am a logical brain.
Yeah.
Okay, so fair. To be fair, I'm a super logical thinker, critical
Yeah.
thinker, like deductive reasoning, like let me break this down into the pieces and parts,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so time times an amount equal, like that's just how I went with that at the time. Um, but I will say that in charging anything and pricing anything, let's flip it around for 1 second. As a consumer,
Mm-hmm.
right? How do you know what, I don't know, how do you know how much a Michael's Kors bag is worth? As a consumer,
I
how
don't
do you
really.
know what a Michael's Kors bag is worth?
I don't really.
I mean, how do you know what like they tell you?
They tell, yeah, the price
Right?
tag.
They
The
tell
price
you
tag. Yeah.
the price tag.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
Yeah.
They tell you what it's worth, right? You
Yeah.
see what I did there?
Ooh.
They tell you what it's worth. The client has no idea what, like, you have to tell someone what your price is. This is what
Your
this is
worth.
worth.
Yeah.
So it's not, well, I don't know what people will pay. That's not my business what people will or can pay. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I am going to tell you that this is what I do. This is what it takes to work with me. Right?
Yeah.
Now I can take or leave that Michael's Kors bag. I can decide it ain't worth. For me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there will be clients that will say, yeah, for me, I wouldn't place priority on that.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's obviously plenty of people who do, who say, yeah, I want that bag.
Yeah.
And I'll pay whatever
I'll
for
pay
it.
whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever you tell
my
me.
wife wants that bag. I will pay whatever to get it for her, right? But we don't know. We don't have no idea what it costs to make a Michael's Kors bag. We're not
No.
concerned about that,
No.
right? But they tell us what that bag costs,
And we pay it.
and we pay it. So
Absolutely.
we have to tell people what our service costs.
Yeah.
So it's whatever you say it is. If I'm being real,
And that's that on that.
and I'm always being real.
Okay, so let's segue into I'm just getting started, right? And you are basically taking us on this journey, which I love, right? You're taking us on a journey of, if I did not know, now I know. So we're on this journey, and I feel as though, just from knowing you, there's several times that people come to you and they maybe say, oh, I need to do this. I need to get my LLC. There's so many different things and so many different ideas of what you actually need, right? So from your perspective now, so you can answer this from the $0 to now, what are some of the investments and tools that you actually need? And what are ones that you do not need to worry about starting out?
Okay. Let's see how I want to do this. I'm just gonna be Lisa with it, honey.
You be Lisa. Tell us.
Okay, the LLC.
I've heard it. That's why I use
the LLC is like the modern day business card.
Okay.
Okay, I'm 55 years old, right? So back in the day, like back in the 80s, you know, dudes was riding around in a Regal, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? And like, you go, the first thing you do, you go into business, you go get a business card printed.
Yeah.
That's when you in business. Bro, I got my cards, I'm in business. That's how people think about LLC now.
Yeah.
It's like, I got my LLC, but you don't have a business. You don't have a business.
Yes. Talk about it.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, let me go get my LLC. Bro, you don't need to worry. You can get an LLC in 24 hours. Okay?
Yeah.
About $200 something at your Secretary of State, you can get an LLC. Okay? But you don't have a business yet. So why go incur that expense? You don't need that to do business. You can do any business as a sole proprietor. I can just do business as Lisa Brooks, right? Lisa Brooks, personal chef, using my social security number to report my earnings and or losses to the IRS.
Yeah.
That's just, Google it. You know what I mean? That's all it takes to really start, right? And then now when you have money or you're starting to make money, and it's like, okay, yes, you want to do the things to become legitimate. If you want a bank account under your business name, you will need an EIN number. You just literally, IRS website, overnight, you can get I can get my EIN probably within a couple hours, actually. They'll email you back your EIN.
Yep.
You take the EIN, which is the social security number for your business. Think about it that way. It's the way the government identifies your business. It's unique to your business, and it will always be that business's social security number as long as the business exists, right? And so you can get that literally, again, like within a couple hours. So at the point where it's like, okay, I'm ready to now open a business bank account. Now you need your EIN. Now you can get your EIN. Now you can pay the $200 to get your LLC. But to go get that first before you know what you're doing, you know your product, you know who you are, who your ideal client is, what your services are that you're offering, the descriptions of those services, the pricing of those services, how am I going to receive customers, how am I going to let customers know that I exist. Before you have all that, see, now I have a business, and now I can go put my name on my business, get my EIN, the social security number for the business, because now the business is here. You know, I don't think you assign social security numbers to babies until they're born, right?
That's good.
You can name them before they're born, you know, but clearly, but you're not putting it on paper and locking it in till the baby born.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So
give your business the gestation period that it needs. You have to build it. Right? I mean, that is my train of thought. That's my way of thinking. And there's so many people that have LLCs, you know, they just got LLCs, honey.
And that's it.
They got LLCs.
Any other tools? They just got LLCs.
Hey, if you're on this journey to turn your passion for cooking into a real business, you don't have to do it alone. You need to join the Chefinista Collective. This is the place where you get the support that you need to accomplish the dream that you have. There are live master classes that take place, tons of resources in there, but the most important thing is you get to meet other chefs on the same journey, and we're in there celebrating our wins. All that's missing is you. This is your community, this is your tribe, and it's your time. So I'm offering you a 14-day free trial so you can hop in and see for yourself, because this is something that really can't be explained. It has to be experienced. This is the way you get this done faster, stronger, and better, because we do it together. So click the link in the description below to join the Chef-Anista Collective completely risk-free.
Any other tools that you would say, yes, this is something that you need to have?
So you need to have a website.
Okay.
People always ask, well, how do you get clients? 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 And I have a whole episode on how to get clients. Okay. So, because it's not like, oh, here's an answer to that.
Yeah.
Let me give you the answer. Here's how you get clients. You get clients by building an attractive business that is a magnet for clients.
Mm-hmm.
You have a offering that solves people's problems.
Mm-hmm.
That's how any business is formed,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so when we're talking about attracting clients or letting people know you exist, I mean, they have to be able to find you.
Mm-hmm.
And in this day and age, how do they find you? It's not the yellow pages anymore.
Nope.
I know as people listening to this, they're like, what are the yellow pages?
Yeah.
What
are those?
What are the yellow pages? Just Google it. Go to the museum. Go to a museum. They may have some yellow pages in there. But that's how you used to find businesses, right? You go to yellow pages, look up plumber, and then you see all the ads, honey. That's why everybody had their business name start with an A, because that would be the first ones you get to. AAA, Acme, whatever.
Oh my
because
goodness.
You would never have a business start with a Z, because it'd be the last one you get to,
And
right?
I'm not flipping through that book to get to the Z.
That's how it used to work, right?
Yeah.
So what is it now? What's the yellow pages now? Google search.
Mm-hmm.
Google search personal chef in my area, private chef in my area, personal private dinner party in my area, candlelight dinner for two, special night out for couples in my area. Whatever they're going to Google, baby, you need to show up in those search results.
Yeah.
You need to show in those search results, and your website needs to speak their language. See, that's where all the work in the dark now comes to light, right? Because the website can be janky. I mean, it can be janky. You're going to get janky customers, right? But this is now where the work that you've done in the dark, that gestation period when you worked on your business.
Yeah.
See, now it's okay. Here it is. I'm presenting it. I'm speaking to it. This is the amazing experience I'm going to offer you. It includes this and that and the other. And this is who I am. I am Lisa Brooks. Yeah. Here's my story. I'm the person that's going to be coming into your house, you know? Yeah. My smiling face on the front, like some type of headshot, right? This is who I am. This is what I'm offering, you know? And this is what the cost is, and this is the process to book me. Yeah. You know, I teach your website has to have 5 P's on it. They have to see the person. They have to know the product, right? What is the product that you're offering? They need to see pictures, right? The photographs, that's 2 P's, right? They need to see the price. People are like, what? How much the price? You putting the price on the website? Yes. Yes. We'll save that for another episode. And then they need to know the process. Yeah. What's the process to book you? Yeah. So your website needs to cover those things. That's how people find you. Yeah. Then your phone rings. What? Okay. First of all, maybe your normal cell phone number, right? And you're going to answer every call like it's a business call, because you don't know if it is or not. So, hi, this is Chef Lisa. How can I help you? And it might be your cousin. That's fine. Yes. Right? But when you get a chance, then, and see, now you can just get a Google Voice number for free. For free. Yeah. $0. Yeah. Google Voice. Now you got the Google Voice number in your phone. When that line rings, you know to answer it. You know, Savory Sweets. This is, you know, Chef whatever. You know. And now, see, now you're looking. Now you get more. You're legitimate. Yeah. You're being legitimate. Yeah. We're not hustle. We're not in grind mode. We're not side hustling. Yeah. We're not. You know, you're actually stepping into the role of a business owner, an entrepreneur, and doing things the right way. And you have to do that work in order. And that's why I have these systems in place. Well, I have my coaching programs, I have my courses, because I didn't have those things and I had to figure them out. And so what did I do? If I'm traversing new land, like an explorer, right? They made maps as they went along. Yeah. Right? They were cartographers in addition to, like, okay, we went left at the rock, we went right at the mountain, we crossed the stream.
Yeah.
This is how we got here.
Yeah.
We're gonna call this place Kentucky, whatever.
Yeah.
I got crazy analogies.
Yeah, it's okay.
Whatever, right?
I'm right there with you.
And so I traversed this uncharted territory, this land, and I made a map as I was going along.
Mm-hmm.
I made a map of where the pitfalls were, where the snake pits were,
Mm-hmm.
where the landmines were, where the stones are that you can step on to get across the river. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What rocks to grab onto to get up on the mountain. Like, I made a map
Mm-hmm.
of all those things. And so why go wandering around without a GPS, lost without a compass, just trying to figure it out on your own, falling in quicksand or whatever? Like, why would you do that?
It's actually
When someone has been there and they've created a route and they know how to get there.
it's a disservice to yourself.
It is.
It really is. It's a disservice to yourself.
It is. I mean, it's you're wasting time. Now, if you're 20 something years old, maybe you got time to waste. But baby, I was 40. You ain't have that time to waste. And most of the women who are actually drawn to me and drawn to my programs, this is a second act for most of them.
Yeah.
They already had another career. They're pivoting from a restaurant industry, or they're pivoting from being a caterer, or they're pivoting just out of corporate, or just a completely different lane.
Yeah.
It's just there's the call for cooking, for a
Mm-hmm.
living. It keeps calling them. They just never knew, well, how could I actually do this in a way that fits my lifestyle, and that actually makes me the money.
Yeah.
Period. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I need to make the money. Also,
That's the biggest thing.
I want to love what I do, and I want to make the living.
Mm-hmm.
And so if somebody already has done that and made a map, honey, like, you're not a serious
Follow it.
person. You're not a serious person if you're not you're not a serious person. You don't have to go explore and figure out how to get to Kentucky. Child, you better put a GPS and what?
And get there.
And let me go ahead and break something else down to you right quick.
Come on. Talk to
I
me.
had to cross my legs the other way for this one, right? Analogy.
Okay.
If you were gonna try to get here, I'm gonna make up another random place, to Talladega, Alabama. We in Charlotte, North Carolina. You need to get to Talladega, Alabama. You could go out to the highway and stick your thumb out. And you could hitchhike,
Mm-hmm.
right? You could do that.
Mm-hmm.
That could probably get you there, right?
Mhm.
Maybe, right? But you're gonna tack yourself onto somebody else's trip. That's what working a job is, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you only going where they going.
Mm-hmm.
What the point? You're not.
They may not even know.
You're not in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
And at the point that they start to go left, you know what I mean? And you need to go right, you got to get out. You got to get out and start, like, now what we doing? We walking.
Yeah.
You walk. Could you walk to Talladega, Alabama? Sure. Why the hell would you walk? I don't
Yeah.
know. But that's the hard way.
Yeah.
You got all your stuff on your back. It's hard work. You're tired, exhausted. You're going to try to give up because you're going to try to walk from here to Talladega, Alabama. That's crazy, right? Okay, bro, I'm going to get a car, though. I'm going to get a car. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm in the driver's seat. I know what I'm doing. I got some instrumentation in here. You know what I'm saying? I can get there faster, right? But I still don't have a GPS. I don't have a map. I've never been here before. I'm still kind of lost. You know what I mean? I got to still find my way there, right? I'm following these directions, but I don't really know what I'm doing. And so it's going to take, I've made progress, though.
Yeah.
I made progress. I started moving
Mm-hmm.
faster, and I'm in control. I'm not letting somebody else be in control, and I'm moving faster, right? But baby, if I want to get to Talladega, Alabama, I'm going to get on a plane. Why? Because there's a pilot who done flown this route 1,000 times, honey. It's a pilot. It's a crew. It's a crew on there to make sure I'm comfortable, make sure I have what I need along the way. That's what my community is.
Yeah.
You got a crew. You got a pilot. I done flown this route, honey, 1,000 times. I can get you there faster. You can relax.
You can skip
You know
out
what I
on
mean?
all the extra.
You can skip out on all that on the extra, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna get there quicker, and you have a crew around you, surround you to make sure that you're comfortable along the way.
Yeah.
So, how you gonna get there?
Yeah. Oof. How are you
Are you still hitchhiking? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That company only gonna take you where they're going. They have their mission statement. They have their vision statement. They have their quarterly goals that you have to sit in a meeting and listen to. You know what I mean?
You got to help bring their vision.
You're gonna, Yeah.
to
You keeping them
fruition
company while they driving where they going.
and put yours on the back burner.
All right. And then, okay, well, I'm going left from here. You trying to go to Alabama, you gotta go that way. You
Yeah.
gotta make a decision. So, choose your mode of transportation.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
you are watching this because you know there has to be more. You're tired of cooking your heart out without seeing it in your bank account. Maybe you're thinking you need a culinary degree or that you'll have to work 80-hour weeks in a restaurant first. I'm here to tell you that that's simply not true. I was just like you, stuck in a corporate job at 40 years old, dreaming of turning my passion for cooking into something more. Now I run a $500,000 a year personal chef business, and I've been featured in Forbes magazine and Ebony and even on the Food Network. But here's what really matters most. I've helped hundreds of other passionate cooks just like you do the same thing. No culinary degree required, no crazy hours, just a proven system that works. That's why I created the 5-step personal chef kickstart strategy. This guide breaks down exactly how to build a business that gives you freedom, create experiences clients can't resist, craft an irresistible online presence, land your first high-paying clients, and start making money doing what you love. No fluff, no theory, just the exact steps I used to build my business and that my students are using right now to build theirs. Click the link in the description below to get the 5-step personal chef kickstart strategy. Do not let another day go by wondering what if. Your future as a successful personal chef starts right now.
What were some of your unexpected challenges that you feel like you came across in the beginning of your personal chef journey, and how did you overcome some of those?
Oh wow. The the biggest challenge to overcome is the battle that takes place in your mind. The intrusive thoughts, the imposter syndrome, that I'm not good enough. That's really the biggest battle.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest battle is always right here,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
It's you fighting with yourself. You telling yourself, "Oh, you can and you can't do this." You listening to outside sources. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you can't do that. You know what I mean? There's
Mm-hmm.
still people in my inbox right now. I'm 15 years in, child. I done this, been all of, like I got the credentials. Okay,
Yeah.
there's still people in my inbox right now in my comment sections talking about you can't do that. You can't make like what?
But I
Like,
am.
but it's like it's this is my reality, right?
Yeah.
And so like outside sources, and so fending off all of the internal uh the internal um limiting beliefs is going to be
Mm-hmm.
the biggest battle. Because
Yeah.
once you decide you're going and you put one foot in front of the other, you'll get there.
Yeah.
It's just people quit.
Yeah.
People quit. They come upon an obstacle and they quit. Spoiler alert, there are going to be obstacles. Sorry, it's gonna happen. Business is
Yeah.
gonna ebb and flow. I'm 15 years in, constantly have to figure, okay, how do we shift any business? How do we
Mm-hmm.
shift with a new market? How do we
Mm-hmm.
shift in this economy? How do we shift with after COVID?
Mm-hmm.
The way people entertain has changed. The way people
Mm-hmm.
eat has changed. People have all these allergies and sensitivities now. Like, okay, that's an opportunity for us to step in. And now, I remember when I first started, I was like, "Oh, I'm not cooking gluten free." It was just like some silly statement I made, like, I'm not cooking gluten. I'm not, I'm, I'm not
Yeah.
cooking gluten free. It was just in my ignorance, right?
Yeah. And your menu now
What,
is what?
what? I mean, not even now. It was just like immediately.
Yeah.
The first client that came to me and said, "Yeah, I'm gluten free." Guess what? I'm cooking gluten free now. What?
Absolutely.
It's like you have to, you know, adjust to what is happening, and that's always going to be the case. So
Yeah.
to think there's going to be a challenge free path in anything you do is lunacy. It's not going to happen. So, and I know you asked me, well, what challenges did I have to overcome? That's the biggest one. Because
Yeah.
if this is right, if your mentality is right and
Mm-hmm.
you're determined to keep putting one foot in front of the other no matter what obstacle comes forward, then you'll figure out a way around it, under it, over it, through it. It's
Mm-hmm.
just, that'll just be the case. So, um, because I had that mentality, honestly faced, um, they didn't seem like huge challenges to me, but there were several things. It's like, oh, well, this, meal prep is seasonal, for
Mm-hmm.
example. I was completely in on meal prep because that's all I knew, and that's all the industry knew.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was just meal prep. That's what personal chefs do. Personal chefs do meal prep. Okay. But meal prep is seasonal. Back to school time and everybody rushes to get meal prep. Well, how we gonna feed these kids? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then New Year's meal prep. It's like, okay, new year, new me. I need to be on a diet. I need a personal chef. Meal prep,
Yeah.
right? But in the summer, people vacation, they living their life. You know what I'm saying? People
Yeah.
aren't getting meal prep in the summertime. So summertime gets slow. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, what can I do? How I don't think or didn't think, oh well, like this is not gonna work. It's like, what do people need in the summertime? What are people
You
doing?
have to think like your
They're
consumers.
yeah, the people are vacationing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how can I get in on that? You know what I mean? When people are on vacation, is there a problem I can solve there?
Mm-hmm.
When meal prep slows down, oh, the vacation rentals all around this lake up here
Yep.
are popping.
Yep.
Guess what? They need people to make food for them. They're on vacation. So now I'm going to tell people, hey, you going on vacation? You need, let us worry about what's for dinner. You got 16 people in a vacation rental.
Yeah.
You can't go out to eat. You can't get a reservation for 16. Why would you want to? And you don't want to shop and cook and clean and all that stuff while you're on vacation. You want to be on the boat. You want to be at the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Let me come in. Do breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. Take care of your family. I'll be part of the family for the week, right? And so that solved the summer problem,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the holidays take care of itself with dinner party. I mean, not take care of itself, but
Yeah.
the holidays, like, meal prep kind of weans off. Oh, it's feasting
It's
season.
feasting.
Feasting season. We're not really,
Yeah.
we're gonna hold off on meal prep. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because it's feasting season,
A lot of
right?
celebrations
And
and
so, oh, let me help people celebrate life's moments. So
yeah.
now the private dinner parties comes into play. See, so now I've solved my problem of year-round stability in my business and the business income.
Yeah. Love it. Love that. Now, let me ask you this. In the beginning, how did you balance quality and profit? The quality of what you're presenting, and we may not have filet mignons. We may not have 10-ounce steaks, but the quality matters. How did you balance that in the beginning?
The quality is it's not negotiable.
Mm,
Um when I made a decision to have a high-end business, then I'm going to offer the best
mm-hmm.
and charge the price commensurate with being the best. It's a decision, right? So I'm not part of our core values at Heart and Soul, my personal chef company, is that we will serve generously, right? That's one of our core values. And
Mm-hmm.
so um, I'm always going to go higher or bigger, but it's going to be included in the price, all in the price.
Mm-hmm.
It's all in there. It's all built into the price. So um, knowing those things, this is one of the, obviously something that I teach in my programs, but if you've never been an entrepreneur, you don't know how to do like pay yourself and pay the business and percent of profit and how do you set those things aside. Like those are all things that you do need to learn as an independent entrepreneur in any kind.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but for me, the quality was never the quality. You make a decision if you're going to be a high-end personal chef, which is honestly the point. For me,
Yeah.
that's the point.
Yeah.
Like the point is make the most money in the least amount of time. How do you do that?
Yes.
You have services that cost a lot and that you have a lot of profit on so you can work less.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's simple. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's simple. It's a very simple formula, right?
Mm-hmm.
To work less and earn more.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to have charge more per thing you do.
Yeah.
So quality is not negotiable,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so it's a matter of what you're packaging up. If you think small, you're going to get small. You're going to attract small, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you think I'm the best, I'm going to be the best. It's a decision you make. I'm going to be the best. I'm going to offer the best. And it's not in comparison to other people,
Mm-hmm.
I'm offering my best,
Mm-hmm.
right? This
Yeah.
is the thing I do
Mm-hmm.
best,
Yeah.
right? And so I'm going to take that thing I do best already and package it up and present it and present myself professionally, present my business professionally, handle things with, um, just in a manner that speaks to, a high level client. These are just decisions that you make.
Yeah.
And so, it's just, there's no negotiating with quality.
Yeah. And you said you've been doing this for 15 years?
Yes, 15 years.
15 years. When do you think you were you had that aha moment of like, oh my goodness, I'm able to financially sustain
You know
in
what?
your business in this 15-year journey? When was
I mean, I always say if I'm being honest, but I'm always being honest.
that?
Because this is a human thing. It's a
Yeah.
human thing to always kind of like wonder, is the phone still gonna ring? Right? Is the phone still gonna the phone been ringing for 5 years, right? The phone been ringing for 7 years. Phone's been ringing for 8 years, right? If I'm being honest, like
Yeah.
it probably took me until maybe like 2017, 2018. So that's 7, 8 years in business that I finally just
So are you saying
just
it?
relaxed
So
to
you're saying it could
say,
have been before then, but it's
oh
what
no, it
you
was
felt.
it was it was it was profitable and it was consistent from day
Okay.
one.
Okay.
So yes, my business was profitable and consistent from day one.
Okay.
The phone kept ringing. I kept getting clients. I kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Okay.
My first year in business, my first full year in business, I made over $100,000. I
Mm-hmm.
made 6 figures my first full year in business. Not having any map, no roadmap, no mentor, no program I went through, nothing, right? That first partial year, because I started my business May 22nd of 2010, right?
Okay.
And so that partial year, I made $55,000 in my business. That first partial year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and every year it's going up, it's going up, it's going up, it's going up. So the money was always there, but I guess what I was speaking to is the allowing yourself to relax in it and trust that it's like this is actually consistent, like it's actually sustaining itself,
Yeah.
like it was actually happening, but it took my mindset a while to catch up to that. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
Sometimes like you lose weight, like I just lost 115 pounds, right?
Yeah. And you look
Like,
amazing.
but thank you so much. But there's a whole thing of like this body dysmorphia where you've lost the weight, but you still
Yeah.
think you're fat, like you still see yourself as the same size you were, like that's a
Yeah.
real thing.
Yeah,
And so I
absolutely.
kind of like liken it to that in a sense where like the business is showing the growth year over year, but it took my mind a while to realize,
Yeah.
okay, this is really gonna still, like the phone is still gonna keep ringing. This
Yes.
business is still gonna come in. It's still gonna, like it's just, and to just relax and accept
The
that
fruits of your
the fruit,
labor.
to accept the fruits, exactly,
Yes.
to accept it. Yeah.
If you were starting over all over again
Mm-hmm.
with $0,
Yep.
no money,
Mm-hmm. No reputation.
no reputation,
Nobody know who I am.
nobody know who Chef Lisa who.
Yeah. I'm just starting over.
Based on what you've learned, would you do anything differently?
Oh yeah, I would do some things differently. Well, because again, I know the exact formula now, right?
Yeah.
So you could drop me off anywhere. I promise you, drop me off anywhere. In 30 days, I will have a $10,000 a month business. 1,000,000,000%. First thing I'm going to do is build a website. I'm going to have all the areas, the wealthy areas in that city, wherever I am. Just, I don't know, put me somewhere, Idaho. I don't know. I don't even know the places, but I'm just saying, just somewhere I've never been. Nobody know me, nothing, right? I'm not on Google anywhere. You can't find me. I'm nobody, right? I'm going to build this amazing website with my beautiful smiling face, all this amazing offerings that I offer. I'm going to create the desire for the thing that I do best through my website. Make sure I show up in the Google search and people can find me. And then I'm going to have that business phone, the free Google voice number. I'm going to answer that phone. I'm going to take jobs. I'm going to take my pots and pans and to the people's house along the way, stop and get the groceries and give them an amazing experience, over deliver, get referrals from them. Every person that's at that dinner party, I'm gonna give them cards to be able to book their next thing. Well, when is your
Mm-hmm.
anniversary? And what do you got coming up next? I'd love to come in alongside and do those things. And please refer me to your friends. Ask for
Mm-hmm.
5-star reviews. Start getting the 5-star reviews to come in, and then it's just a snowball. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Oh, I'm back on
Yeah.
top. I'm back on top, baby. Drop me
Yeah.
off anywhere. It's a
Anywhere.
system. It's a system.
It, I love it. This has been
Is that all you have for me?
It's never all, but for right now, yes.
I think we covered
Yes.
that.
We
This is good
covered
stuff. I
everything.
love talking about these things.
It's so amazing and profound how you can take something from zero. And let me say this to you, from 0 to 1 million mentally. See, we're talking about a dollar amount, but you're able to attach value behind it. And you're able to attach the mindset of $0
Yes,
versus the mindset of $1 million.
that part.
So thank you.
Thank you for watching. And if you want to find out anything about me, my programs, my coaching programs, my community, there's information down in the description. And of course, I want you to hit the subscribe. I want you to like this video. I want you to share it with as many people as you can. And thank you for joining us on the feast. We'll see you in the next episode.